What if I told you that an animal you've seen your entire life could erase a human body in minutes? No trace, no hesitation, no understanding of what it just did. Not because it is evil, but because, to it, there is no line between what should and should not be consumed. You think pigs are simple, slow, dirty, harmless? That version only exists under control, inside fences, inside systems designed by humans. But outside of that control, something else appears. Something adaptive, something efficient, something that doesn't hesitate, or question, or feel the need to stop. And by the end of this video, you won't just see pigs differently. You'll start questioning the difference between instinct and control. Fact 1. Pigs are often described as omnivores. But that word is too simple to capture what they really are. In reality, pigs function more like biological processing systems. They do not choose food. They evaluate opportunity. If something contains nutrients, it becomes a candidate for consumption. They eat plants, roots, waste, decaying matter, insects, small animals, and when available, meat. Fresh or not, intact or not, it does not matter. There are documented cases where pigs have consumed human remains almost entirely, not because they hunt humans, but because when a body becomes motionless, unresponsive, it becomes part of the environment. And in rare but real incidents, farmers who collapsed inside pig enclosures were later found partially consumed, not attacked in anger, not targeted, simply processed. Because to a pig, the system is simple. If it exists, and it can be broken down, it becomes energy. There is no disgust, no hesitation, no moral pause, only conversion from matter into survival. Fact 2. Now combine that behavior with intelligence. Pigs are not primitive animals. They learn quickly, adapt to new environments, remember locations, and solve problems with surprising efficiency. In controlled studies, pigs have learned how to operate mechanisms, to receive rewards. They can distinguish shapes, respond to symbols, and navigate complex paths. Some experiments suggest they can recognize their own reflection, placing them among a small group of animals capable of self-representation. Their cognitive ability is often compared to that of a 3-year-old child, not just reacting, but processing, predicting, adapting. And this creates something unsettling. An animal that doesn't just act on instinct, but improves its behavior over time. It doesn't question morality. It optimizes outcomes. It learns what works and repeats it. And when intelligence exists without ethical boundaries, behavior becomes efficient, not restrained. Fact 3. There is a reason pig screams feel disturbing, even to humans who have never heard them before. A pig's scream can reach around 130 decibels. That is not just loud, it is physically overwhelming. But what makes it truly unsettling is not the volume, it is the frequency and instability of the sound. It is sharp, chaotic, unpredictable, designed to cut through any environment and demand immediate attention. Your body reacts before your mind can process it. Heart rate increases, muscles tense, focus narrows. This is not a learned response. It is biological. The sound triggers something deeper, a built-in system that responds to distress signals across species, which is why that same sound is often used in horror films to represent fear, panic, and loss of control. Fact 4. A domestic pig looks harmless. Soft skin, rounded shape, slow movements, but that appearance depends entirely on environment. Release that same animal into the wild, and the transformation begins. Within weeks to months, physical changes appear. Hair becomes thicker, skin toughens, muscles strengthen, tusks begin to grow. Behavior shifts even faster, alertness increases, aggression emerges, defensive responses become immediate. What once depended on humans becomes self-sufficient, and in some cases these animals begin to hunt, attack livestock, and compete with native predators. Because domestication does not erase instinct, it only suppresses it. Remove the system, and the original pattern returns. Fact 5. There is a point where stress changes behavior completely. When an environment becomes too loud, too crowded, too unstable, systems begin to fail. In pigs, this breakdown can result in something deeply unsettling. A mother turning on her own newborn offspring. Piglets attacked, injured, sometimes consumed. Not because of hunger, but because of neurological overload. Stress hormones rise, control decreases, instinct takes over. The system shifts from care to survival, from protection to reaction. And in that moment, relationships disappear. Only behavior remains. Fact 6. Not all threats are visible. Some operate at a microscopic level. Through undercooked pork, parasitic eggs can enter the human body. Once inside, they hatch, travel through the bloodstream, and in certain cases, reach the brain. There they form cysts, disrupt neural activity, and trigger seizures. This condition is known as neurocystic urcosis. What makes it disturbing is that it can remain undetected for long periods. The body adapts, compensates, until symptoms finally appear. This is not behavior. It is infiltration. A reminder that nature does not just exist around us. Sometimes it exists within us. Fact 7. In parts of Southeast Asia, pigs with 5 toes are considered unusual, even unnatural. They are often avoided, sometimes feared, associated with misfortune. Stories describe strange behavior, animals acting differently, appearing at night, making unfamiliar sounds. Some even claim these animals feel aware in ways that are difficult to explain. Science describes this as genetic mutation, a variation in development, but belief operates differently. Humans are uncomfortable with anomalies, with things that do not fit expected patterns. So we assign meaning, we create stories, we avoid what we cannot categorize, because uncertainty feels more dangerous than understanding. Pigs are not monsters. They are not evil. They are systems, built for survival, efficient, adaptive, and completely unfiltered. And maybe that is what makes them unsettling. Because when you remove structure, remove control, and push any system to its limit, behavior changes. And that doesn't just apply to pigs. It applies to everything, including us.